I'm Micah Hartman from the Ignite Battalion, and this is Ignite.
All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad we're all back.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going? We skipped a week, but our fans.
They won't know.
Yeah, they
SMH.
won't know. Yeah, exactly. But
I know.
Should
My
I take
beard's
that
a
part
little
out?
week longer than
Exactly.
you would have
I
seen
know my
it.
hair's. I have to get a haircut. What's up with this?
Get what cut?
Yeah, my hair's.
My barber's in Las Vegas,
Wow.
so I'm screwed for a
You were
couple weeks.
terribly funny. Speaking of.
What can I say?
All right, so I think, today's topic, we're actually going to go over Module 7, which is critical crucials. Does anyone even know what that means? What's the word critical mean?
Steve, I think you're making up tongue twisters for us.
I am.
Critical crucials.
What is critical? Just tell me what you think critical means.
mean?
Urgent.
Urgent.
Did you look right here? Because it says urgent.
Oh, no, I did not.
No, it actually doesn't say urgent. But I consider that seriously important,
Mm-hmm.
right? Critical,
Mhm.
you know? All right, and then crucials?
It's a little redundant, it feels.
Must be done.
What must be done,
Exactly.
right? Also.
Yes, and I have it written down here somewhere. Okay, critical and crucial. Okay, yeah, you get the idea. Okay. And it is a play on words, ultimately, because some of the things that we're going to talk about later in this thing is our critical maneuvers and our crucial maneuvers and our critical objectives. It's just play on words. It's just what are we doing out of all the things that we have to do? What's the number one thing that we should be doing, and then what's the number two and what's the number three? Because as a business owner, as some of us are starting to understand, especially including Jack, okay, having started in your second business now, there's a lot of things to do. Yes, and just think about it, all of it. You know, even producing music and starting a band and
rough
the
out
things
here.
that you do. Payback all of a sudden. Huh?
Oh,
Haircut?
it's interesting.
Okay.
That doesn't normally happen.
So I say we just kind of get into it. One of the things, one of my opening questions I actually like talking about is, and we'll just open it with this. What kind of money do you think you want to make by the end of the year? Okay, and if you take that, your annual income, like give me a number, and divide that by 2,000, which is the average person's working hours for the year, then you come up with your hourly rate. Okay. The reason why I came up with this is because I watched a video on, you can probably search it on YouTube or something like that, about, if you want to make $1 million a year, that comes out to $500 an hour, or whatever the number is. It might be different, it's with inflation that might be different. Doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay, exactly. That number doesn't change. Just you buy less with it. So in other words, if you're like cutting your lawn and you can pay someone $40 an hour to do it, and you should be the guy hustling out there making the $500 an hour ultimately. Mm-hmm. Right? 40 it's killing you. Right? You're losing what? Don't make me do math, but you're losing $460 every hour that you're out there cutting the lawn. Pay someone to do it. Mm-hmm. It's not that vital. Okay. I personally still like cutting my own lawn because I like standing on my front stoop in the morning and going, wow, my lawn looks really nice. It's just a sense of accomplishment for me, and I don't have a whole lot of yards. It doesn't take me that long, and again, it gives me some sort of personal satisfaction. But at some point, I would like to not have to do it. I'd rather be doing this kind of thing. Right? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that is kind of thing. Have you guys ever really thought about that? Like how much money? I know you're young, but have you ever really thought about what your hourly rate would ultimately be? Like, I'd like to make $100,000 or whatever it might be. Like, figure that out. Go ahead, Chris.
No, yeah, I haven't. I not until I went through this program did I really think about that and think about what is my hourly rate that I'd like to be at, and it's kind of helped make job decisions and give me something to kind of work towards, or just get an idea of like, okay, if this is what I need to make, like by the end of the year, this is what I need to be. This is what I'm worth, or that kind of thing. You start to understand. You can price yourself better, especially if you're trying to start a business or something. What is it worth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know. I'm trying to figure this out. How much does it cost to clean a car? Well, it depends. Depends how much you're trying to make, and so that's kind of helpful just to start breaking things down and get numbers figured out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that reminds me, like I hear this from a lot of people, so I'm not very original with it, but like if I'm ever in like a place like a coffee shop or any kind of service or what they sell you, I try to think about how much money are they actually making in that like business. Like if they sell however many coffees a day, how much is the coffee itself? How much are they selling it for? Mm-hmm. All that, and then it kind of just gets you thinking about how to make the money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's working somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate lunch. It was one that wasn't that long ago. I ate lunch at Bucktown in Chicago. We were the only people in there from I think 11:30 until 2:30.
Wow.
Like I was out there for a long time. It was a hot date. Anyway, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. You guys don't know.
I know.
Yeah, you know. Okay. Anyway, it went terrible. But
It was great, I thought.
but I spent like $100-something bucks. Their place was open the whole time for just me and this person. I consider that probably a loss for them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it would cost for a restaurant in Bucktown per hour just to be open.
Uh-huh.
You got to take into consideration all that rent. So you say, how many coffees do you have to sell? Whatever that might be. You got to move a lot of product just to pay rent, let
Pay
alone
your
the
employees.
CEO. Right, exactly. And everyone, the cook,
Yeah.
the food. There's a lot of stuff that's going in there, because, especially in restaurants, talk to any restaurant owner, there is a situation where there's an actual cost there. It's not a labor thing.
Yeah.
They got to buy the chicken, now they got to cook the chicken,
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to me. All right, so the reason why I created this whole program with the Dominator was because I was overwhelmed. I had so many things going on. And it got to a point where I was transferring my to-do list daily for sure, certainly much longer, weekly, monthly, and I had some stuff where I had really good ideas where it was, I had some ideas on my to-do list that were there for probably 2 years. I actually think I have still some stuff on my list. Obviously, it's not a super high priority, but I keep transferring it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because when I would come in on Monday, I'm like, cool, ready to go. Got these 60 things, I'm going to get them all done. And then I open up my email, whatever it might be, and then there's a bunch of all of these like new priorities that now have taken precedence. And then by the time I put out all those fires, I call them putting out fires. It's not really, nothing's on fire, but I burned through 6 hours, and I've got nothing done. Now my energy is low. How many willpower points have I lost? A lot.
Yeah.
And okay, now what do I got to do? And my mood has changed and all that kind of stuff. It's because I have to do everything. That sucks. Okay. So this program was created just to help me personally with the overwhelmedness. Okay. And I talked to my friend, Dr. Danny, and he read a couple of books, and he came up with a book that says that I don't remember the name, and boy, you can certainly put it in the comments for sure. They talk about roles and goals. Like so you have a team of people. What are the things that need to be done, and how do you know that they're doing them? Like each person should have their own kind of goal. If you have a social media person, great. What's their goal? I don't know, 5 posts a day, 20 a week, whatever it might be. They have something to reach for, right? And now, if you kind of start farming that stuff out, that's their thing, and you no longer have to do it. To make anything on social media worthwhile, it takes a long time. I mean, I do next to nothing, and it still takes a long time. I can only imagine people who do it for a living. Yeah, it's a full-time. It's got for some people, it's got to be a full-time job. I've seen some of these videos out there; they're fantastic. You don't just edit those in 20 minutes. Some of them take hours.
Yeah.
So I don't, if you're gonna want to be a social media superstar, you're gonna put in some time. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there's an outlier that gets lucky, but it takes time.
I mean, I tried when I was like 10. Didn't really work out.
Yeah.
I mean, like I
Didn't
got
work
like
out, that's why you're here.
got like 70. I got like 75 followers.
Okay, that's not bad.
It wasn't bad.
That's
but,
not
like,
bad.
If you stuck with it till today, where would you be?
Your mom's very kind to make 75 different accounts.
not gonna lie, half
I
of
did
them were,
YouTube
like-
What
challenges.
were you saying?
I did YouTube challenges, like
Okay.
ice cream challenge.
Sure.
You get a blindfold on, you guess what the ice cream is.
Oh, really?
Used to do it with my
Cinnamon
dad.
challenge?
Yeah.
Cinnamon
Cinnamon challenge. Oh my
Oh, I didn't do that.
Remember
Tide
the,
Pod.
remember the, I was
Kill
the
you,
Tide
right?
Pod challenge.
Can't that kill you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would think it would.
You inhale the cinnamon. And
Eating
iPad
a
tablet.
spoonful of cinnamon can kill you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
don't eat
Don't do it.
cinnamon.
Or Tide Pods.
Just watch other people do it.
Right. Film them and just laugh and
Yeah.
laugh and laugh. Okay, so what we'd like to do actually to make it practical, we want to turn this module onto the Ignite program. It's still relatively new. I want to say it's in its infancy, but we are ready to kind of launch this a little bit more nationally and the actual program, because what are we getting so much positive feedback from this program of how it's changing people's lives. I think that's fantastic. So why wouldn't we want to share more of it? So here we are. We now have a business. What do we do? So we got some paper in front of us. If there's, if you want to write down some ideas, or obviously we can just talk it out. But I don't want to overtalk people. But just with the infancy things that we know, and there's no trick questions here. You guys are part of the program. But what are some things that would need to be done to make this more out there? Okay, so if someone's talking and you call them some ideas, write them down, because I don't want to skip anything. These are kind of like the roles and goals. What does it actually take to make this business successful? Right, Chris?
Yeah. I was wondering if you want to talk about the ideal day a little bit. kind of looking at like what is the ideal program. I found success with starting there and then assigning jobs, right? So if we start to think about what is this program, what should it be, what can it be, and we just kind of start dreaming and brainstorming, then you go, what does it need to like get it there? What does it take to get it there? And then we start going, okay, well, if we want a good social media presence, we need someone to film. We need someone to edit. We need someone to come up with ideas. We need someone to, you start to break it down and figure out what it is. I found success in that with the youth program that I run. It's like I don't have to do everything. I don't have to do all the things. I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere at once, right? And so breaking it down and giving people jobs and then having a goal of like, hey, make sure they feel like they belong. And it runs so smoothly because of that. I don't have to plan the games. I don't have to greet everyone at the door. I don't have to, hang out and sign people in or whatever. Like I have other people doing that, and it works out awesome. Mm-hmm. So with this program, right? Let's kind of dream it up. Let's see, like, well, what could it be? And we have those conversations all the time. So this is a great opportunity now to go. Mm-hmm. All right, that's fun. Let's start writing some stuff down, and let's start assigning things out. Let's start figuring it out. Let's start doing it. Stop dreaming about it. Mm-hmm. Let's make it happen.
Right. Yeah, we had a car situation, so we had a moment the four of us were driving in the car, and we just came up with all, besides all the laughter, number one, but that we came up with a bunch of ideas, including having the Ignite Mobile, which was not what we want to call it, but that's what it is right now until we have a cool name.
It's what we're going to call
the
it.
Ignite.
No,
really?
No,
we're calling it
that.
that.
No, it's got to be
like that too much.
Like the Wienermobile. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something.
It's got to be something cool.
Something cool.
That's not Italian.
The Weenie Hut Junior Mobile.
What?
The Weenie Hut Junior Mobile.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds great.
Cut that.
Good ideas only, Reggie. Thank you.
Like the Ignite Uber.
Ignite Uber. Oh, that's...
we drive people and then we tell them...
We talk about their values.
But anyway, one of the ideas that we came up with, and it would be something that we actually have to write down now, is we would be in a parade.
That'd be great.
Right? And just as simple as stuff like that. Should the CEO of Walmart be setting up the floats for the Labor Day parade? Right? That should not be his thing. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. We've got way bigger decisions to make than that. Which means, this is our panel and including some other people. If we were to throw our car into a parade, what's the to-do on that? There's things to do.
Yeah.
Probably a simple phone call to the local town. How do we get in there? And
when's the next parade?
Exactly. When's the next one? Right? And then what do we hand out? Business cards with candy on it? What do we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Little sheets that say, what are your values?
Yeah, what are your values?
Run up and talk to all the little kids. What's your values, little kid? And what Micah said to him, I don't have values. I don't know what they are.
Family.
Exactly. Family is not a value.
That's great.
No candy for you. Okay, but so let's break it back down. You brought up that great point. What's the ideal day for like this program?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that might be. Or there are probably several different types of ideal days because there's meetings we held at night. There's like the day retreats.
But the ideal program, when you eventually retire from this, at the age of
57,
57, whatever that is, right? You look back and you go, this is what it is now. This is what I've created.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about running programs consistently, getting involved in schools or colleges, at churches, youth programs, having a retreat center. You just start making this list of like, this is what it looks like. And you make this master to-do list and start checking them off.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
See if that's available. That sounds great.
That sounds great. Check. Micah, can you check on that one?
Fortnite. Pull it up on the screen. Scroll up, lower. It's taken. Okay. So
okay.
Fortnite can't be.
Fortnite, but is there a real life Fortnite?
Mm-hmm.
Could have a storm, chug jugs,
Fortnite.
the whole thing.
But you're right. Well, you just rattle off a whole bunch of things, and all of those are just like they're. Of course, everything's attached, but a retreat, which could be at Fort Ignite. Schools. Running these programs. The ones I have run here. What would you call the ones that we actually have at the studio?
On campus or whatever. At studio.
Oh, on campus. I like that. Studio campus.
Can you buy your neighbor's house?
Sure.
We just take over that place.
Mm-hmm. Just make a college.
Make it a little college.
This is
Put
a little fence around it.
Yeah.
Fort
Sure.
Ignite.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, these things actually, okay. So we're gonna bring it down to some seriousness right
Yes,
now, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so like legit, what are some of the things that need to be done? You said, okay, for retreats, what, you mentioned handouts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things that we have now, I think are clean, but it's not pretty
Mm-hmm.
or cool,
They're functional,
functional.
but can we do better?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes,
so the
the
workbook.
answer is yes.
Have a workbook or something that
Mhm.
it's not just sheets of paper.
Okay,
Um,
so create workbooks. What other kind of things? Start some ideas. Brady, Reggie, Jack.
Get more business cards.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. mhm.
Get them printed.
Because we already have one, but
Mhm.
I'd like to have some we can all just pass out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have one?
If I was to create business cards with you guys' names on them, would that be better, or would it be better to have a generic one?
oh, actually, my phone number's on.
Doesn't sound too bad.
I'm putting that on YouTube.
It makes
sorry.
sense.
Uh huh.
hmm
Yeah.
Should the business card just be for emailing, or should it just have the website on it? Like, here, check this out. You could have your name on it. I'm being serious. I mean,
Yeah.
you
This is
guys
what
tell me.
mine looks
We're talking
like.
about literally live, right? And his looks different than mine.
Yeah, I have
Mine's
the black
white.
one.
Yeah.
Do you have? Yeah. See. Yeah.
hmm
See. Yeah.
I don't have my
Steve and
wallet
I are
on me,
good
but-
cop, bad cop.
Uh-huh.
kind of thing.
Good cop, bad cop. Yeah. Okay, so you're right. That's something I designed, and we have design already done. You
Easy
just kind of
peasy.
pick which color would you want. You know, it doesn't matter to me. Or if I can
I
make
like
it
the
orange
black
or
one
white.
better because it goes with everything.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that maybe. So the I think what we need right now is we need clients. We need people to go
Mhm.
through the course
Right.
and start to generate some kind of revenue and start kind of moving forward
Mhm.
with that. And so we talked about maybe like an incentive thing. If you guys have business cards, you hand it out to your friends. I don't know, whatever you break it. Let's just say you get 10% of whatever they sign up for. However that works. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be that complicated, but it could just be you start handing out at school.
Mhm.
You start going, and then you guys are a little bit more self-motivated to go, hey, I'm going to show up to these places. I'm going to go here. I'm going to stand outside Tony's and hand out cards. Does your life suck? You know, whatever.
We'll make it
Like-
better.
Yeah, let's make it better.
You can target the casinos too.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a great place to go.
Sure.
They'll probably kick you out quick.
Affiliate
Yeah.
marketing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to spend more time in casinos. I think that's a good idea.
What?
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But yeah, you find, hang out at outside the bar late at night, and people
Mhm.
are like, oh, my life
Go to
sucks.
the mall.
You're like, here you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, the mall. We get a little booth in the mall.
Yeah.
What would that take?
That's not that bad.
Yeah, like one of the little kiosks.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Where they
It's
like,
better than
you
all
walk
those, like
past
vapes
them,
and like
they're
random
just trying to
toys
get
in
you.
the middle
Right.
that no one buys.
We can go to like campuses, like college campuses, set up like a booth there,
hmm
Mhm.
and be like,
Mhm.
That's a
and then
great idea. Never heard that one before.
convince them to drop out of college.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
or,
you don't need
or
this.
and it's not that you have to it's not that you have to drop out of college though. It's that now you have a clearer focus of what you want to do.
Mm.
It's and so it could be college. College might be, and we have some people who've gone through the program who want to go to college, and they're going and they have a lot more intentional focus on what they're doing. They're like, yes, this is what I want to do, and I'm excited about it.
Mhm.
And you're starting a business. That's what you want to do, and that's what you're excited about. Do that thing, and don't just fall into something that you don't want to do.
Mhm.
So yes, go to the college campuses, and maybe people drop out, but maybe people now actually improve their time there. They actually put double effort in. They're actually like, oh, I'm excited. I want to get involved in this club. I want to get involved in this thing. I want to, because they understand themselves better,
Yep.
and so it actually could benefit the quality of education at colleges, at high schools, at these levels where people that you're in high school and you're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I just don't care. I don't want to learn this. It's like, yeah, you do, because of this or that, or you're actually pretty good at this. Let's lean into this, and then they find something, and it helps their overall life, even quality of life.
Mhm.
It's powerful.
Mhm.
That's a great college campus. Is great.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like college fairs. When they set up in the gym and everyone's got a booth, and you walk
Yeah.
around, and you're like, oh, maybe I could go here. Maybe I could go there.
Mhm.
There are career fairs at
Yeah.
school.
Career fair, exactly.
Mhm.
Why don't we have a table there? Let's do
Yeah.
it.
They do it at Grant.
Get me in.
We should actually do that.
Let's do it. And it's not like this is your career, but it could be.
Join the
Yeah.
podcast.
Join
Run
a
through the
battalion.
program. It's cheaper than a semester at school.
Mhm.
That's true.
Half the time almost.
Almost as cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so marketing this program involves what?
An
Ads.
ideal client.
Ads. Ads.
I think
Looking
we need a
for the
lawyer.
ideal client.
Yeah.
Definitely need a lawyer in case we get in trouble with anything.
Need the
We'll just
lawyer.
send Randy
We
Yeah.
showed our cola brand on the table.
Our cola brand.
Did we?
Yep.
Did we do that?
Just reach out to people, you know.
How do you know it's cola brand?
Ads looking for ideal client. What else? What else is involved in marketing? Anything marketing. Talk to me. Go.
Just reach out to people, you know. Anyone you can.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like cold outreach wouldn't be very good for this.
Cold outreach.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know how beneficial that would be
Okay.
because how do you convince somebody that's like not interested in it to join
You can't.
this? Yeah.
Call numbers.
Call numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So with like a phone call.
Like a cold call?
Cold or hot calling.
Cold call would just be like calling somebody random.
Like those scam
Yeah.
people do, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not scamming.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Maybe just a
I'm
little.
We could. We're not.
Merchandise falls into marketing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Billboard.
blimp.
Ignite a blimp.
Blimp.
That'd be awesome.
It is a way of marketing.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
could graffiti some trains.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
We could get like one of the planes with the flag on the
Yeah,
on the
Yeah.
back.
Plane with a flag. I actually know a guy with a plane, so
Huh?
Really?
we just
I
need
do
a
too.
flag.
I know
Oh.
a guy with a plane. Sorry.
That's cool.
I can fly a
That's cool.
plane.
Did he
Really?
build his plane?
No.
You can fly a plane.
Yeah.
My friend's dad
I wish I
built a
could.
plane in his garage.
Did it
Isn't that
work?
crazy? Yeah, it works. Flies.
What?
When's? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Ignite Mobile, you just mark it. But
Right. Okay. And
Just
that
go
go
out.
Okay. Right. exactly.
Playmobil.
I think we need to go
What do they call it? Like
Chicago and
graphic graphs.
Mm-hmm.
talk to people in Chicago.
Yeah, handouts.
Man on the street.
Man on the street.
Man on the street. Parades. Like the word just needs to get out. I mean, this podcast, obviously.
Mhm.
Start social
Podcast.
media. Social
Many
media
interviews
posting.
on the streets.
We talked about that. Having a social media manager, clipping things, posting things. That social media door is endless. Just constant.
Yeah.
Out there, play the algorithm.
You got to be consistent.
Gotta be consistent. Gotta do what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I can do it, right? But let's just think about like, should Chris be doing something like that? Should I be doing something like that? And it's a trick question, but I'm just
Mhm.
going to kind of give you the answer right away. What should I be doing? I should be and I'm going to cut right to it. I should be teaching it. I should be one of the teachers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't necessarily have to do the social media,
Mm-hmm.
but we can get someone who's maybe quieter, who's not sitting on this particular panel, who
Mhm.
actually gets into that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Like I actually like running the social media stuff.
Mhm.
Perfect. They don't want to be a front man. Right now we're leaning into strengths and weaknesses. That's why we talk about all this.
Mhm.
Delegation.
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 Exactly.
We need a professional editor.
Professional editor editing what?
Videos and
Yes.
yeah,
Agree.
getting our stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. And I'm skilled at it. The first two
Yeah.
podcasts, I mean, I
No
do a little
offense to
bit.
you.
Right.
Skills.
So, but I don't really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've edited thousands of videos. I'm just like kind of.
It's good.
I'm just kind of done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But I can still do it.
Yeah.
Certainly at the level that we're doing here.
At the level we're working. But as
But
it gets moving,
it take me 8 to
it
12
takes-
hours to edit one.
That's a day.
It's an hour.
Day and a
video.
half, yeah.
'Cause I'm doing a lot of things to it. I mean, there's a lot that's involved. Or I'd rather have someone kind of do a little bit quicker. I don't want sloppy, you know. And that we also need like a crew. We have one
Mhm.
person manning one camera, and we have a 2-camera shoot, right? And he's excellent at it. But there still seems, cameras pulsing and things like this. I need another person. I shouldn't be. I can't do it. I can't do both. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Right. So we need people to do that. I'm
Mhm.
not good at sound. I need a professional sound guy. Right. At some point, I'll give you $5. So then you can say I'm a professional sound guy.
There you go.
All right, welcome back. So, second half of the podcast. We were talking off camera really quickly about like making companies profitable. Okay? And I was also encouraged for this particular program to turn it into a 501c3. Heard of it? I think I know what it means. I could explain that in about a half a sentence and it would probably be wrong. Okay? Because I want it to be profitable. Duh.
Mhm.
Why else would I do it? Well, I get tremendous fulfillment. This is my 10th year of running this program, and I haven't made anything. It's actually cost me a fortune with all my time and then tons of materials, and tearing stuff up and starting with this and doing all that. So if someone was to pay me as a creator to create this, I would have handed them over a very large bill. But it's my pet project, so there is no bill. it's like, I don't know, I forget what they call it, but it's like a loss unrealized.
Mhm.
I think, because,
Sure.
I didn't turn down money. It was just never
Yeah.
there,
Mhm.
But anyway, we're talking about 501c3s, and what made me concerned about that was I talked to my accountant about it, and they don't have a whole lot of experience, so now I'm kind of on my own trying to figure out what this might be, which means I'm going to probably put it on social media and say, does anyone know how to do this? Because someone out there's got to, right? I got 4,000 something followers on my regular
Yeah.
personal page. There's got to be someone out there.
Mhm.
But what my accountant did tell me that you can take reasonable salaries. So that would be my question, like reasonable. I did Google it and try to figure out what that meant. But what do you think reasonable means, Micah?
I think reasonable is definitely enough to get by, but I think it might be a little more than that, because reasonable seems like, it doesn't seem like essential to live. It seems like a little more like to have some money on the side. I don't know. That's what I think reasonable means.
Okay, Reg?
Yeah, I kind of piggyback off of that. It seems like reasonable's like, all right, like that's okay, that makes sense, or something like that, where it's like, it's not a crazy amount of money, but at the same time, it'll like get you by and get you to where you won't be like suffering.
Okay, that makes sense. Brady,
for
what do you
this,
think?
it's like enough of what you deserve
Okay.
for this.
Yeah, these are great. And actually, as I did the thing, you guys are actually saying some of the words now that's reminding me of the actual definition. Chris, what do you think?
No, it's very vague, reasonable. But I think, I agree with you guys. It's probably a little bit more than what it takes to get by, and you're getting paid for the work you do. So if you're working 60 hours, you're getting paid 60 hours. It's not, you're not getting just your 40 hours. You kind of have to, when you're in charge of it, it's interesting that you get to kind of decide that. But part of it is also within the constraints of what the business can produce.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Because I would think that people would like to, volunteer giving to this particular program to help other people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of wealthy people that said, wow, I wish I would have learned this kind of stuff in school. And when my son heard about it, he ran through 4, particular modules, and it's starting to change his life. I'm willing to donate. So that's how we start generating money as well as having people pay for the actual program to actually run through it. So this is like legit. This is, I don't want to say that, I don't want to put a timestamp on this in case someone watches this video 4 years from now. But this is in real time. We are actually running. I'm actually running through this stuff. What do I set it up as? Because right now is when you make the choice. I find that very interesting. So some of the things I found with the reasonable would be, you're right, taking into consideration the cost of living. If you had to run, the Red Cross or something like that, and be a big board member player, not necessarily CEO, but someone who's actually really active, you got a lot of time involved in that. Now where are you going to live? I mean, if they paid you $5,000 a year, as a little bonus, of course it's not enough. So that would be considered, I think, unreasonable. Yeah. Right. How are you going to get anyone to volunteer? But, to actually be in the nitty gritty. I know the Red Cross is run by volunteers ultimately, and you guys have all volunteered so far. And I think last couple of weeks ago you said something, we want to double our salary or something. We want to be paid interns.
I'd like to double what I'm making right now. That'd be great.
Exactly. But then I looked at some of the bigger companies that you would recognize. I don't want to tell you what they are, but you look at their CEO, and one of them makes $1.4 million. That seems reasonable, right? That's a good number. I like that number. I think what would also be unreasonable, and we can move on after this, would be my unreasonable salary would be I get all the money. Like, that doesn't seem reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of other people pulling for this.
Seems to be more
But I also
involved.
noticed that for some of these organizations, like a video editor would make money, a marketing person would make some money, all this kind of thing, because it actually takes time to run this kind of thing, And I think everyone that's donating and or grants would ultimately come to the realization of saying that what you guys are doing seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I guess it's a judgment call, but I find that interesting. So I'm processing that literally in real time. I just read it this week, and now I have to really start considering these things. So if I start running through schools and churches and running retreats and youth programs and all these kind of things that we just wrote down, I don't know. I don't want to necessarily do it for free because I'm getting, again, massive fulfillment, but it would be nice to be able to buy a piece of land and start Fort Ignite, where it's a massive retreat center. All these buildings, they don't just give that stuff away, right? And you guys have seen some of the pictures. At some point, maybe I'll share. We'll do a podcast on it because that would be kind of cool thing to kick around too.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of where we're at. Just with that, I gotta get over that hump, man. Because I'm sure you have to say those things on your website. I started designing the website today. I'm not very good at it. I have no idea how to start a website. I have a vague idea of what I want it to look like. But now I'm going to give it to some fellow artists, people who are creative. Who in here has creativity as one of their values, right? Like, I think I should share with you what it is that it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I gave you, when we did business cards, 2 different options. Which one do you like better?
Yeah.
I like that one. Great. I liked the other one. What did I do? I printed both kinds.
2.
Right.
Yeah.
It's no big deal to me. I want you to be proud of the things we're handing
Uh-huh.
out.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. You know, I don't typically wear hoodies, and I got a whole bunch of people wearing hoodies. It's taste.
They're comfy.
Well, I just realized we're all wearing Ignite, except for me. Well, you guys could have told me that.
Go on. Go put it on.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, but anyway, so where are we at? What do we want to talk about?
Well,
I
was
feel like
wondering if
I'm
you-
dominating.
No, this is good.
conversation.
And we kind of, I know we showcased a little bit of how this kind of works, this brainstorm, and you start to kind of go through and pick pieces. Do you have an example of how this has worked in your business, or could share a story of how you've used this idea? And you kind of shared it at the beginning, but maybe in more detail of who you got involved and how you got people involved. I know you always talk about the story. You're like, I didn't want to do accounting anymore, so I got an accountant. That kind of stuff.
Right.
Is there any more of that?
Yes, well, because when you start taking in receivables, someone's paying us for our services. Then the taxes get involved. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble by doing my taxes poorly, and it can be, I'm sure, like for most people, a daunting task. Like, oh, taxes, all those funny memes that are out there. How much is it? How much do I owe? I don't know. You have to figure out. What if I make a mistake? Well, then you go to jail. Like, oh, great, you're leaving me with the responsibility. I have no idea how to do this. You ever go through the tax code? It's confusing.
Oh my goodness.
So the first thing I want to do is get out my accounting. At one point, it was easy for me to do. I made $300 my first year. Okay, it's no big deal. Then 1,000, and then 5,000, and then 10,000, and I had a $17,000 month, and then, it just kind of goes up. It gets crazy, right? At some point, and then okay, this is getting serious. So anyway, at some point, I did hire an accountant, and then it got to a point where I was probably working 30 hours a week just on emails. And I'm a photographer. I'm not even taking pictures yet.
Yeah.
Right? And if you work an average of 40 hours, which of course that's laughable. Jack knows what that's all about. You guys, right? And anyone realize that is a right? And with all the stuff that you got at school and
Yeah.
and
Not
your
40 hours
actual
is
job,
not a normal.
it's nothing. And when you burn 30 of it with emails, which are necessary, they have to be done. I can't just blow that off. I would have no customers otherwise. Be like, are they still in business? No one's responding. So you have to do it. Okay. So I started farming that out. I got an office manager to kind of take care of that. And then all my color correcting. During busy season, it's probably 80 to 160 hours a week, I would guess, for me to do it. When you have a lot of weddings kind of things going on, that's a lot of time. That's ridiculous, the amount of time it takes to do this kind of stuff. So what do? Hire that out. These are so then I can do the thing I'm really good at. The thing I'm really good at is when I sit down with my couples and actually talk to them. And then I do an actual wedding, and then I create the art, the stuff you see on my website. Those are my top 3 things. There are other things I definitely have to do, but hopefully that kind of answers that question a little bit. At one point I had to do it all. Take out the garbage, right? Buy the coffee, go get water, do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Please, guys, share. What do you guys got? Any thoughts on any of this?
Yeah, I think like you said, those are those 3 things. Like you had to eventually do all of them, but those 3 things are your crucials. So you're a pretty successful business owner. So I think if we want to own our own businesses and be successful on our own, I think we also need to identify those crucials. And I think one of my crucials, I believe, is getting into editing, because I feel like if I can contribute to that, I can be a much better part of this program. Because I could. Right now, I feel like we all have a role, and I want to have a bigger role. So if I learned how to edit, and I learned the editing software and what it takes to do that, I think that's one of my crucials. In that aspect, I could help a lot more.
There you go.
So.
And we talked about off camera, I think, like networking, like who you know. And so once you start saying, "Hey, I have a problem," or "Hey, I need this figured out," people start coming up and go, "Oh, I think I know somebody," or "I think I'd like to do that. Can you teach me how to do that?" That kind of stuff, which is really, really important. Like you just popped up, you're like, "I'd love to do that." Great. I know Steve just wrote it down. So it's going to start. You have to address. You have to look at what you want, and then address what's the roadblocks, right? You have your goals, you have your roadblocks, what's stopping you, and then just start tearing those up. What can you start doing right now that's going to help you progress your goal to get to your dream?
Right. I know Jack had mentioned before, that he's one of his companies that he's starting is running Google ads. And I'm brutalizing it, but it's something along those lines. A company might come approach him and say, "Hey, I've got a $5,000 a month budget to do this. I don't know what to do." Well, he's the expert. Give me the money, we'll set it up. Right? Some certain amount's going to go to me to create it all, and certain amount goes to actual Google to actually run these things. So that would be like, so you had mentioned something about networking. Like out of all of us, we're all friendly. Like who would want to step into that role? And it doesn't have to be one person. It's kind of fun to go to networking events with a friend. Then you try to see how many, try to beat each other by handing out cards. Legit. You don't just go like this, Actually have legitimate conversations and try to see who we can find out there. But I actually wrote down Micah for the video editing and shooting. You're doing a great job on the shooting. Good. We should get you video editing. You know what's going to make you better? It's going to make you a better shooter. Right? So you're like, oh, I got to get rid of that mistake. I have to edit that out. Make sure I don't do that again. I got to fix the sound. And then we have a sound guy, professional sound guy. So that's so we're going to put Reggie for sound. Right? But what are we going to do when we lose Reggie? Well, we have to have someone that can step right into it. Right? But what else? So what else do you think you could do to help with this business? Where do you think your skill set comes in? I'm coming to you next, Brady. So think about your answer.
I think I could probably help out a lot with social media. I have a little bit of a social media past. I used to be a video game TikToker, but I did end up getting to like 6 or 7K, I think, or somewhere around there.
6 or 7K followers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think like if I can kind of like just like use what I used in the past, use like my social media editing skills and stuff like that, I help out a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this is something too that we talked about the program becoming a place where people who've gone through it now are resources to other people, and you become almost like an alumni, right? You can say like join the battalion right up there here on the back of our shirts, and you kind of start to build your network and be like, oh yeah, I went through that program, and I'm now a guy who builds websites. Great, I need a website built. So we have like this list of people as we kind of go through it. Reggie would love to be a sound engineer, right? And work on the boards and do all that for musicians and things. Great. Now I know a guy who does that. And you start to build your list of people who can help you. And so I think that's one of the important things about this program is it brings people together to help each other reach the goals that we want to reach.
Chris, Brady and Chris, where do you guys think you would be plugging in with all the things that actually have to be done? And someone you might know, because I know you got some things to add to it. So go ahead. What would you be good at to help promote this?
I think I'm an alright editor.
Okay.
Like you've seen some of the stupid stuff I've created, but I think I can edit videos alright. That wouldn't be like my job for the Ignite company, but I think I'd be a good marketer and have my own business cards and like give it out to people at school. I think I can help with that, and like have flyers, put them like the school walls,
the
bathrooms, lockers,
the vape rooms.
Yeah,
vape rooms.
Yeah, they need help.
We talk about flyers, so I started creating a few things, and I had a professional flyer reviewer guy look at it, and he said it was actually pretty good. He gave me some suggestions on how.
Flyer guy.
Yeah, flyer guy.
Yeah.
And
Can you fly?
What did you say?
Can you fly?
No.
Oh.
But he likes looking at other things that do fly. Okay, so anyway, but there's 100 different ways to make these things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that seems to be good enough. Right.
Right.
But that just added another things. I didn't write those things down before. I've got to create flyers, and they can't be sitting there getting old. You kind of have to keep them updated. And I would imagine a flyer that would go to a school would be slightly different than that one that would go to a youth program at a church. Right? Because the one I actually created was for a youth program at church, and I think it's excellent. But it's totally my style. It's the style of the thing, of all the stuff that we have created. Yeah, the cool sparks and all that kind of thing. I mean, would that fly everywhere? No. Which means we have to create something that would be more appropriate for this particular program, or where we're trying to run it, right?
Yeah.
And mechanics school is different than a ballerina school. I mean, the clientele is different. I think the flyer would look different, as an example. Right?
Have something that sticks out and that catches your eye.
100%.
So you're interested to read it.
That goes into our a little bit of the marketing module. That's the hidden module of this program.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The secret one.
Which is good.
Yeah. That we've all skipped. Intentionally, because I was told to take the business out of it, and that's like the business side of it, and it needs to go right back in. You went through it. right?
Yeah,
so you have a
we did
better
it with
idea.
this program.
Mhm.
We
Right.
kind of talked about marketing, and it's a good module. It's if it's relevant to you,
Right.
You know, if you have something you need to market,
Mhm.
so it's,
Mhm.
which is why it's kind of like in, and that's the
Right.
0.5 module,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's actually so it's module 6 for those who don't know, and it comes right after roadblocks. So now you have like a business that's built. Let's see what we got to do with it. The last time I ran it, and this is a true story, obviously, because I don't tell lies. I may embellish though. I am known to be an embellisher. Okay, we ran the program, and it took 3 weeks to go through, just on that one. I think it was probably 3 2-hour sessions or longer. That's 6 hours to go through that one module, because they loved it. They're like, I've never been asked this. And everyone in that room was a successful business owner already. And they had never talked about these things. Ever. That blows me away. I'm like, not even anything?
yeah.
So that was awesome. So it might be something that we should bring back for this particular program. I think that's, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
My wheels are turning. I love
This is
talking
great.
about this kind of stuff. This gets me just
This
fired
is-
up. I'm
Well,
like,
it goes right to your personality, straight to your personality, what you're gifted at. You just come up with ideas, talk about these things, and you need those people.
right.
We like I love it too. We bound whenever Steve and I get together. It's very energetic and it's very exciting. And I always leave like, oh man, I should be doing this. I gotta do this, you know. And we come up with great ideas. We just also need the people to help us carry them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get them going.
Right.
You know, we can dream it up, but we need people to come around and figure it out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, Rock Trunell, okay. A friend of mine, we may or may not use his name. He is a visionary, and he loved having people on his team that were doers.
mm,
He paid them very handsomely to get his visions going. And you're exactly right. Like I have so many pages of notes and so many things that need to be done. That's why I want to have like a team meeting with this kind of stuff. There's no way I can do it all and run Valen.
mhm.
I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Where I'd love for people to start stepping in, you know, and a big one to take off my list, and it sounds like we have 2 people right here, would be video editing.
Mhm.
It'd be great, where I already have a backlog, and we're only 7 episodes in,
Yeah.
or something. Or I'm already backlogged, like, when am I get these things done? It'd be great if you took 1 week and you took 1 week. Great, now they're all up and running.
Yeah.
And we swap back and forth until we're caught up, and then we have a rhythm. See how this works?
Yeah.
I need these things taken off my plate.
Mhm.
I got the website kind of going. It's got a general vibe. It's nothing like I want it to be. But it's something I can show somebody and say, change this, move that, change that color, make this font, add more fire, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I want to give it to other people,
Mhm.
as opposed to, you figure it out. I can give you a general idea.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what else? You said you had some people, so now we're on to Chris. Brady, you feel like you are editor, marketer, business cards, flyers. Chris,
Yeah,
you
I
and
think
someone else.
I really like that idea of marketing, getting the word out there, networking. I know a lot of people in the education world, in the church world, those kinds of things. I think, as well as teaching, it's something we've talked about. Running it, having my own class or people going through it, and just coming up with ideas, helping you think through things. Just almost co-coaching, you know.
Mhm.
Share some stuff, you share some stuff, ask some follow-up questions, things like that.
Mhm.
Has been helpful. So I continue to be part of it as much as I can.
Yeah, and I want to talk about a mystery person, because you have other people
Mm.
that in your
Oh,
back
yeah, yeah,
pocket.
yeah.
But give me 1 second. You know what you had mentioned earlier about like what's going to happen to me when I get old. I don't remember what
To you?
Yeah, you said it, and
No,
I
you
said
said
I'm
that.
going to
Oh, okay.
die.
You said that,
I'm gonna
yeah.
die. But I was
Yeah.
thinking about this. Like, at some point, I would love it that the alumni would just go, take it, right, run with it, go
Who
do
will
your
be the
thing.
next Steve?
Right. You know, to give yourself 10 years of
Jack
experience.
Black.
Right. I've been doing this. I've been doing this for I've been on this earth for quite some time, many more decades than you all. But at some point, it would be nice to just kind of kick back, you know, and take a reasonable salary, and then you guys go make some money. That's right. And I'm being very vague right now because, you know, I don't
But
know
that's
what
how
it's gonna
that's
look
the
like.
cycle.
That's how,
of it,
it's
right?
the cycle
It's
of
not.
it. 100%.
It's not this. It's right now. It's kind of the Steve show. It's your program. It's your baby. It's the thing
Mhm.
you've been working on. It's all this time you've invested into. But at some point, you hand over ownership.
Mhm.
You know, it's like Michael Jordan was only on the Bulls for
Mhm.
so long, and then he's got to pass it off to the next guy.
Mhm.
Move on. You got to get the next guy in. You got to get the young guys who have the energy, they have the desire, they have the will to go for it.
Right.
And that's what we're hoping to, is just to continue to build this thing that helps generations. It's not just all right, when Steve's done, it's over. Someone else is going to pick it up and keep it going.
Selling the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass it off.
$7.5
Pass the torch.
billion. Yeah.
Pass the torch. Exactly.
Amen on that. Okay, so
That should be that could be a whole segment. That could be a whole thing.
right. Mystery people, meaning people that are not in this room, people you don't even know. I know you. Obviously, I'm leaning toward
Yeah.
that, but to someone that could, like, you have a website person,
Yeah.
right? So I'm designing it enough so they have a vision of it. Good. Now, can you make it actually the thing I need it to be?
Exactly.
What other mystery persons, right? That do you know of anyone that could, like, step in and say, "Yeah, I think I got a friend that might be really good at this particular thing." I mean, there's so much to do, guys. So much to do. Other teachers, other creators, things, people that can create cool flyers. Because you said it's got to be eye catching. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. What does that mean, though? Right? What's your visual for that? You know, I'm going to get the Ignite Mobile. I want it to be filled with graphics and cool stuff. Should it say other stuff on it? I don't know. It's a conversation I'm going to have with you guys. What should it actually say? What else are your thoughts? Like, I'm to a point where I'm like, I want to start working.
Yeah.
And I want to turn all this stuff off and get
do it.
going.
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
So, how do we bring this home?
I almost think that we kind of just pick something we're gonna do. You know, if you want to start telling people at school, start telling people at school. I mean, we could print flyers, make a flyer pretty quick. You said you've got
Business
something,
cards.
business cards, whatever it is. Let's start doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to we're gonna have a meeting on Sunday to get that website thing moving. And you want to start editing? Come over to Steve's house on Monday. He's not doing anything. Just kidding. You start learning. Like, let's start setting this stuff up, and let's not leave until we figure out that thing that we're gonna. And not to put pressure on you guys, but if that's something you want to be a part of, let's do it. Let's run with it.
Right.
I'm all with.
The next Saturday you're available. I'll set up the huge TV. Got a computer ready to go. I'll have a couple sodas. Let's do it. Right. It won't take long for you to figure it out.
Yeah, I like
'Cause
talking
what we're
about
doing
it,
is very simple.
But let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Stop, Don. Start doing. Chris, so what's your takeaway from this?
I think that it's very important to just make sure you know what you need to do, and have your team of people around you. It's fun to talk ideas and get stuff out, but start rolling on it, start getting it done. And if this particular episode, it kind of feels a little bit like, oh, we're not super structured or whatever, which is fine, because that's where we're at. This is what we're doing. And then these modules kind of start to get a little bit more individual, start focusing on your goals and focus on your stuff. And so it's cool that we had the opportunity to kind of turn it in on the program and take this time to get this figured out. And it looks like we actually kind of got somewhere. And so we're going to hopefully take some action on that stuff. So, I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. Brady, takeaway.
Yeah, like any day you need me to come here, pick up the business cards, I'll pass them around to school. And I really like the career day idea, because there's this thing you do in gym class where you just go to the field house, and there's a bunch of different stands of different jobs. But it's not really a job; it's more of a opportunity. But I think we should set up in there and tell people about it.
Yeah, because when you go to a career day, it's like a warehouse filled of jobs to go get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about all the entrepreneurs and the ones that don't want to go to college? They're like, no, I want to start working with my hands immediately. Well, everyone seems to get those people seem to get just lost. That's sad. And those are the ones that make America work.
Yeah.
Right? We're the gears. Reggie, take away.
All right, so we have a lot we have to do. I can see all of your writing right there. We have a lot of goals. We talked about goals a few episodes ago, or was that last episode? I don't know. But we have goals now, so let's do them. And I feel like this week I'm probably going to try and think more. If I have more ideas, I'll text you guys, but
Sure.
I'm trying to be more creative.
Right. I love it. Thank you, Reggie.
Okay.
Micah.
I feel like what Reggie said, it's important to identify what these goals are, and just making it work all how our system works. We all have a role in it, and if we don't all play a role, it's really not going to work. Synchronization is really important. It's key, and I think also in a business, it's really important to identify your audience. Like, who are you? Who needs it the most? Because that's where your demographic is. You find the people who who are struggling the most with, figuring out who they are, what they can do with their skills. So really identifying your audience and attacking that is, I think, the best way to go for it. So that's what I think.
I agree, and that's why we have this program, right?
Yeah.
What are the things? So the opening question is, and this is how we'll end it. Would be, so what should I be doing? And the answer to that is, well, what needs to be done? And then the real question is, what should you actually do? Right? Farm everything else out. And here's my farm. All right. Hopefully it was good for everyone, and you got something out of it. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next episode. Yes? Okay.
See ya.
See ya.